As the excitement builds for the 2024 and 25 UEFA Champions League final, football fans around the world are gearing up for an unforgettable showdown. Scheduled for May 31, 2025 at the Munich Football Arena, this year's final promises to be a clash of titans as Paris Saint-Germain PSG faces off against Inter Milan. This event marks a significant moment in European football, highlighting the intense competition and the stakes involved for both clubs. The path to the final was no easy feat for either team. Inter secured their place with a thrilling 7-6 aggregate victory over Barcelona in the semifinals, showcasing their resilience and tactical prowess. Meanwhile, PSG outperformed Arsenal, clinching their spot with a solid 3-1 aggregate win. These semi-final victories not only exemplify the team's determination but also set the stage for a highly anticipated final encounter. Reminiscent of the high-stakes drama that is characteristic of the Champions League, the Munich Football Arena, a venue steeped in history, is set to host the final for the first time since 2012. Known for its vibrant atmosphere and capacity of 66,000, the arena has previously witnessed thrilling matches, including Chelsea's memorable victory over Bayern Munich in the 2012 final. The choice of Munich as the host city underscores UEFA's commitment to returning to iconic locations, enhancing the grandeur of its premier club competition. In the lead-up to the final, fans are eager to know how to watch the match and what to expect should the game end in a draw after regular time. UEFA's regulations state that 2 15-minute periods of extra time will be played if the scores are level, followed by a penalty shootout if necessary. This format ensures that the match will conclude with a definitive winner, adding to the suspense and excitement. As the focus shifts to the Champions League, the landscape of European football is also evolving in domestic leagues. The battle for Champions League qualification within the Premier League is heating up, with clubs vying for the coveted top 5 spots. The latest simulations from Opta have revealed that Newcastle United has significantly boosted their chances of a top 5 finish following a 2-0 victory over Chelsea. This win has raised their probability of securing a Champions League spot from 77% to an impressive 93.9%. Their rise in form comes at a pivotal moment as the season draws to a close, highlighting the unpredictable nature of football. Conversely, Chelsea's hopes of qualifying have taken a hit, dropping to 54% following a series of disappointing results, including a draw against rock-bottom Southampton. Meanwhile, Manchester City remains a strong contender for Champions League qualification, with a 92.9% likelihood of finishing in the top 5 despite recent struggles. The competition remains fierce, with teams like Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest also in contention, making the final weeks of the league season critical. As the Champions League final approaches, the stakes are high not only for the clubs involved but also for the legions of fans who passionately support them. The outcome will not only crown a champion but will also shape the narrative for the upcoming football season, influencing transfers, team strategies, and fan expectations. With the potential for a thrilling showdown on the horizon, all eyes will be on Munich as two of Europe's elite clubs battle for glory. With the promise of unforgettable moments that will resonate long after the final whistle. As the 2024-25 Premier League season approaches its conclusion, the race for UEFA Champions League qualification has intensified, creating a thrilling spectacle for fans and pundits alike. With just 2 matches left in the season, the battle for the top spots is far from settled, particularly as clubs jockey for a coveted place in next year's tournament. Newcastle United has emerged as a formidable contender, climbing to 3rd place after a decisive 2-0 victory over Chelsea. Goals from Sandro Tonelli and Bruno Guimaraes, coupled with a red card for Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson, have significantly bolstered the Magpies' push for Champions League football, raising their chances of finishing in the top 5 to an impressive 93.9% according to projections from the Opta supercomputer. This victory not only solidified their position but also placed them in contention for 2nd place, with simulations indicating a 14.8% likelihood of finishing there. Conversely, Chelsea's prospects have dimmed following their recent performances. After the defeat to Newcastle, their chances of securing a top 5 finish fell to 54%, a sharp decline from 67.9% just days prior. This downturn is particularly concerning for a club that has invested heavily in player acquisitions, emphasizing the importance of securing Champions League qualification to maintain competitiveness and financial viability. Manchester City, despite a disappointing draw against bottom-placed Southampton, remains in a strong position for Champions League qualification. They currently stand at 92.9% in the supercomputer's simulations, with a 48.8% chance of finishing in third place. Manager Pep Guardiola's side, although frustrated by their inability to score, is still expected to secure a spot in next season's tournament. Aston Villa also kept their European aspirations alive with a narrow 1-0 victory over Bournemouth, courtesy of Ollie Watkins' goal, which marked him as the club's all-time leading scorer in the Premier League. Villa's chances of finishing in the top 5 have surged to 40.5%, a substantial increase from their previous 15.2%, reflecting the team's resurgence at a critical stage of the season. In contrast, Nottingham Forest's performance has raised alarms. After managing only a 2-2 draw against relegated Leicester, their chances for a top 5 finish have slipped to 18.7%. This dip in form is troubling, especially for a club that has experienced a remarkable turnaround from last season's relegation battle. Meanwhile, Arsenal's position remains relatively secure. Despite a hard-fought draw against Liverpool, their chances of finishing in the top 5 are at an astounding 99.9%. The primary concern for manager Mikel Arteta's side is maintaining their second-place standing, a battle that will be put to the test when they face Newcastle in a crucial matchup next weekend. As the season winds down, the implications of these results extend beyond immediate qualification for the Champions League. Clubs like Nottingham Forest face the risk of losing key players if they fail to secure a top 5 finish, as seen with captain Morgan Gibbs-White, who was reportedly attracting interest from Manchester City. Meanwhile, Aston Villa's resurgence under Unai Emery hints at a bright future, with supporters hopeful of continued success. The Premier League's final matches promise to be an exhilarating conclusion to a season filled with twists and turns. With so much at stake, the next few weeks will not only determine which clubs will compete in Europe but also shape the landscape of English football for years to come. As teams prepare for the final push, fans will undoubtedly be watching closely, eager to see how this thrilling race unfolds. As the 2024-25 Serie A season approaches its climax, the excitement surrounding the championship and European qualifications is palpable. With only 2 matches remaining, the race for the Scudetto and the coveted top 4 Champions League spots remains fiercely competitive. Napoli and Inter are locked in a tight contest for the title, while several teams vie for the remaining European qualifications, setting the stage for a dramatic finish. Currently, Napoli leads the league with 78 points, just 1 point ahead of Inter, which has 77. Both teams have secured their places in next season's Champions League, but if they finish the season level on points, a historic one-match playoff will determine the Scudetto winner. This playoff, a rule introduced after the 2021-22 season, could take place just days before Inter's scheduled Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain in Munich on May 31st. Francesco Porzio from CBS Sports explained, if Napoli and Inter end the season with the same points, they will meet for a playoff final that is unprecedented in Serie A history. The playoff rules stipulate that if the teams' head-to-head records are tied, the venue will be determined by several criteria, including goal difference in their matches and overall championship goals scored. As it stands, Napoli and Inter's previous encounters this season have ended in draws, adding to the tension of a potential playoff. While the title race captures headlines, the battle for Champions League qualification is equally intense. Currently, Atalanta sits in third place with 68 points, having secured a Champions League spot after defeating AS Roma 2-1. The victory puts Atalanta 7 points clear of Juventus and Lazio, who are fighting to stay in the top 4. Juventus and Lazio are tied at 64 points, with Lazio facing a crucial match against Inter in the coming weeks, while Roma sits just behind them in 6th place with 63 points. In the relegation zone, Venezia has reignited its survival hopes with a recent 2-1 victory over Fiorentina, propelling them out of the drop zone and into fourth from last place. Their fate now rests in their own hands as they look to secure Serie A status for another season. The win was a significant blow to Fiorentina, who remain outside the European spots, further intensifying the competition at both ends of the table. Amidst these thrilling developments, transfer rumors are also heating up, particularly surrounding Juventus's interest in Manchester United's Antony. The Brazilian winger, currently on loan at Real Betis, is reportedly a target for both Juventus and Atletico Madrid. After a slow start at Manchester United, Antony's resurgence at Betis, where he has scored 8 goals and provided 5 assists, has sparked renewed interest in his services. However, Real Betis faces challenges in securing his permanent transfer contingent on their qualification for next season's Champions League. As Serie A braces for a thrilling conclusion, fans are left to wonder how the final matches will unfold. With the title and European spots still in play, the next few weeks promise to deliver high-stakes drama that could reshape the landscape of Italian football for years to come.